That's right, there's more future. Thanks, guys. It's an honor to be here at Ignite 16. I'm Rob Epler, and I'm here to talk about the future of the internet. I've got 5 minutes, so here we go. So smartphones and the mobile internet represent a gigantic leap forward that's very rare in our history. There's 3.2 billion internet users as of the end of 2015. And it's not often that we get a giant leap forward. In fact, usually it's a lot of little tiny steps. And if you look back through the past 200 years, there's lots of little tiny steps that have led up to you having the internet in your pocket. And there's a pattern that emerges at each step. We bring the same things along with us at each step. So you can look back and see a clear evolution in the way that we communicate, from letters and the telegraph all the way through to radio, television, and the mobile internet that's in your pockets right now. There's a clear evolution that's happened, and we keep improving on the same technology. And a case in point is the telegraph. In 1837, telegraph was invented, and it's just an on-off switch over a wire. We send basically ones and zeros over a wire. And we do that today still with the internet, just really, really fast. We can send nearly 250,000 tweets in the time it takes for your brain to recognize that you got even one tweet. That's really freaking fast. We just keep making it faster, and we send more data over the internet. And things just get faster and evolve. So what we've seen in the past with this pattern that happens each step is there's more information available. More people have access to the information. More people are involved in the flow of information. There's also more immediate access to the information and the potential for more noise. And that happened at the turn of the last century, where the gatekeepers to information had something called yellow journalism, where they just basically made shit up to sell more newspapers, right? It was the precursor to clickbait, basically, right? So at each step, there's like this adjustment period where we figure stuff out. And we're doing that now. We all have the internet in our pockets right now. And big companies are selling our data and pushing us ads. And eventually it'll settle down and we'll figure it out. And you can look at the internet today and say, what is there to figure out? Look at all this stuff. It's amazing, right? This is the internet. What's left to figure out? But ask yourselves, is it going to look like this 50 or 100 years from now? Probably not, because the pace of change is relentless. Change is coming. Just look at this. In the span of 10 years, we went from nothing in our pockets to having these amazing devices, right? So what does that even look like 50 or 100 years from now? We're texting 24/7. We're on the internet 24/7 already. It's basically a part of us. What if it was literally a part of us? Like in our consciousness, that we could just communicate? What would that mean? How would that change society if we could do that? Well, it's not so far-fetched an idea. We are the most connected as a planet as we have ever been in human history. This is amazing. We can send information across continents instantly. It's really mind-boggling. And the way that we store information now is kind of a mess. If it wasn't for Google or Wikipedia, we would never be able to find anything. So if we plug today's internet into our brains, it would just melt, right? Like our brains just wouldn't be able to handle it. So with that in mind, look at what we have. Every website is different. Everything works differently. Like there's a like button, there's a retweet, there's upvotes, downvotes. Like it's all completely a mess. And how do you know what's true and how do you know what's not true and who to trust? So right now, the current gatekeepers right now want to make money off of us. They want to sell our data and push us ads, but they're not in charge. Because if you look at the past, we're the people who are in charge. Everyone in this room, we're all in charge. And you can use the internet for awesome things. Like look at the Arab Spring and how the internet was involved in the Arab Spring in Egypt. Look at the Ferguson protests and how they got information out. It's harder than ever to keep information out of people's hands and easier than ever to use that information for good. The internet can be a force that unites us as one planet. It can bring out the best of us. It can represent the best of humanity. But it's up to us. We use it each and every day. It's up to us. We can decide whether or not we want to share or we want to advertise, whether we want to communicate or whether we want to bully, or if we want to create change or whether we want to accept things for the way that they are. And it's a very bright future because it's all in our hands. Thank you.